What are some of the green flags of a true friendship? My friend once told me, I won't let anyone hurt you, man, even yourself, while helping me get off drugs. That always rang out as a true friend thing to say to someone. Made me smile. This is beautiful. Even if you haven't seen each other in a while, you're able to pick up right where you both left off. But they also don't get mad at you for not talking to them in a while, and vice versa. I hopped on here to say this. Thanks. When they don't judge you for things you can't control. In high school, I had a sleepover. We all slept in the same bed, like normal. I'd recently started some new medication. Turns out, a side effect was bedwetting. They never told anyone. They never judged me. They helped me change the sheets. I'm still friends with those girls. I'm so emotional over this one. I had a medical condition as a kid, and unfortunately it cost me the proper use of my colon, all fixed now though. I was 12, and most 12-year-olds are absolutely brutal. I was bullied and teased out of school, and these kids knew I suffered from insomnia, so they would call my house after midnight and tell me to kill myself. It was a rough time, and so I became deeply embarrassed and ashamed of this condition, and I was mortified that it would happen again long after the issue was resolved. When I was 17 and met one of my current two best friends, I'm 25 now, we were telling secrets one night and I told him about this condition, and he looked me dead in the eye and said, "Is this supposed to change my view of you or something? Everyone has weird stuff about their body they can't control. For example, my left nipple is inverted." I was so relieved that I cried for days after. And no, his inverted nipple is nothing to worry about. It's been checked out by doctors and it's just a rebellious little nipple lol anyway. I'm so happy you have people like that in your life. I understand on a spiritual level how mortifying those situations can be, especially when you're older. If you don't mind my asking, how did the medication do that? I always find those kinds of physical side effects interesting. Like, the idea of changing our body's chemistry causing physical effects, rather than just chemical ones, is one I always found interesting. They text you first when they don't want anything. Truth, getting a text of "Hey bro, was up?" is refreshing. Most often I get this text from a mate who wants me to jump on a game for some multiplayer, but never to ask for money or shit like that. When things are desperate he'll text for help, but 99% of the time it's just to see what's going on cause they're bored lol. In fact, last night he texted me, and I quote, "Dude, new NMS update is fucking crazy, sandworms and shit, Jesus fucking Christ, and glowing grass and new shit, holy fuck bro," regarding the new No Man's Sky update. At 3:30 AM. Comfortable silence. This was when I realized I'd fallen in love with my now wife. We were friends for a little over a year before we started dating. Long story short, one night we were just hanging out at my place. I was at my desk and she was sitting on my bed reading. A couple of hours or so went by and nothing was said. There was never that need to fill in the silence. I turned to her and said something along the lines of, "I love that we can just enjoy silence together." And she felt the same. It's a super important and commonly overlooked thing, I think. I understand this so much. I visit an old man and do some chores for him, and sometimes we'll just chill on his porch looking over the yard. The breeze will be just right and there won't be talking for a good 10 to 15 minutes. When my dad got divorced, he found a lot of his friends were really just my mom's friends. He had exactly one friend who helped him pack up and move. His joke after this was, if you win the lottery, you'll find out real quick how big your family apparently is. But if you wanna find out how many friends you have, get a divorce. The lesson here is that a true friend will stand by you even in a really dark place where they have absolutely nothing to benefit from standing by your side, and even in some cases, something to lose. Especially when you're in a dark place. My dad hooked his best friend up with my mom's sister. After my parents divorced, it was like he never had a best friend. I have no friends, so I don't have that problem. They will let you know that what you did was wrong. They won't judge you for your flaws. You feel completely safe to tell them your biggest mistake/flaw. You feel at ease around them. 5. R/dragons fucking cars. I had one of my closest friend get mad at me once and call me a bitch. It really made me reevaluate how I behaved. I hope I've lived up to it. When you don't have to talk 24/7 to know that you're there for each other no matter what. And when you do see/talk to each other again, it's like no time has passed at all. You just have more stories to tell. Edit, I just wanted to say that I'm so glad a lot of people resonate with this. And this is now one of my favorite threads ever. I'm just reading everyone's very wholesome replies. Less than 3 thanks for all the wholesome rewards. 2. Since we're both in different schools, we only meet each other about once a year, still text to each other occasionally. I miss you, Bert. Edit, for those making Bert and Ernie jokes, his name is actually Bertrand, we all just call him Berto. Just reconnected with a friend I haven't been in contact with for 6 years. From the second we saw each other, it was like those 6 years never happened. Heart. When you can talk about nothing and talk about deep things. Lots of friends only have one or the other. My text chat with my best friend is bipolar as hell. Absolutely offensive insults slung back and forth in between bad memes and emotional support talks. When nothing you ever told them ends up as gossip. That's very insightful. I might sound like a sociopathic Dexter trying to let fellow sociopaths in on the tricks to come off as a functioning human being, but most people have at least one person who they rely on enough to trust with any secret. The person we tell the secret to has at least one other person they really trust. Soon enough, the secret has been passed on between people who fully trust each other to not retell said secret. Then before you know it, someone tells Kevin Bacon. Wanna hang out? Then you don't hang out and neither of you mind, and then you hang out next week. This. When they understand the need for space and alone time. Truth. Being able to not take it personally is a good sign of friendship. The thing is, oftentimes what is needed is physical space, so usually when either me or my mate say we're not really feeling up to hanging out, we'll follow up with fair enough, I'm gonna jump on multiplayer game, so feel free to jump on if you want, and you know what? Most often we do. Being able to make each other laugh. Really, truly, help I can't breathe laughter. I didn't realize how rare it was until it was too late. Bro, same frown. This whole thread makes me sad because I don't have a best friend anymore. Frown. They are happy for your successes. They notice when things change. They are okay with you having prolonged negative periods. They stick around if you're sick for a long time. They notice things and talk with you about them later. Leak a tuff that reminds them of you. They will help you bury a body and not ask how it happened. JK. Probably. 4 years ago I suddenly became ill. I was 30 at the time and did not expect something like that. It was a huge shock and I was in and out of hospital for nearly an entire year. I had 2 surgeries and several stays at the hospital. My best friends visited me once. One friend just stopped talking to me. Another couple would come and sit and make me laugh and stay until after visiting hours. Friends are the ones that don't back away from you when times get tough. They will help you bury a body and not ask how it happened r/hol up. They'll make fun of you to your face and defend you behind your back. They can go from ripping the shit out of you with the boys, to we're here if you need someone bro, and they mean it. I would never say this to her face, but she's a wonderful person and a gifted artist. In all seriousness, I do like this in friends. I got the news that my grandma was dying this past Tuesday. Unfortunately I had work at 4 and class beforehand, so I planned on going to see her the next day. But my sister was insistent that she wasn't going to make. Texting my group chat I asked my other shift leads, only can switch with OSL due to me being OSL, to ask if anyone could cover. No one answered. I left for work early. At the shop, I was beyond frustrated at my friends that I started ranting to my old coworker, and now my absolute best friend, who quit a few weeks ago. He jokingly said he could cover if my boss let him. Literally a few minutes later my boss walks in, and in tears I explained to him my situation and agreed to let my friend cover my shift for me. My friend agreed and he came into the shop literally 20 minutes later. I was able to see my grandma and say my goodbyes that night. My grandma passed away an hour after I left. The realest of them all. Edit, first thanks for all the support guys. Just to clarify a few things, my boss is cool, I just know he's stressed all the time with his businesses and I felt really bad to leave the crew that night. I also at the time didn't really think of this being super duper important since I then planned on going to visit the next day. I had hoped that she would maybe last that long, plus my mind was a mess from a previous death. Looking back I should have just talked to him from the start, but I'm also super grateful when he walked in when he did. Yay, I do really wish I could quit this job, but not many other jobs would allow for me to work around my grad school schedule and pay me well. Frown, this post was really meant to be a shout out to my friend. He doesn't take shit from anyone, but he knows what's important to others. That being said, I'm about to go off on my coworkers. What an OG. Your shift leads are cunts. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.